All right, first and foremost, give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, HaKadosh, double honors to the elders and apostles of the great millstone who rule well and who is worthy to be counted for double honors. And peace and salutation to you brothers out there pushing this truth wholeheartedly and sincerely and full of the gospel. It's a brother Gabari from the Indiana camp. Come back to you one another sit down to basically talk about the book of Timothy, 1 Timothy chapter, the 3rd chapter. All right, I was just reading it shortly before this video and just decided it was a spirit put on me to basically go into this book and expound upon it. So without further ado, we're gonna hop straight into it. Lord willing, hope this video is edifying for you brothers out there. And this is 1 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 1. It says, "This is a true saying: if a man desire the office of a bishop, he desire a good work. It says, a bishop then must be blameless, the husband of one wife, vigilant, sober, a good behavior, given to hospitality, apt to teach." Right, man. So if any of you guys, if you any of you brothers out there desire this office of a bishop, is basically breaking down unto you what a bishop is, how should a bishop conduct himself. All right. So it says one of them being a husband of one wife, being vigilant, sober, be a good behavior, giving it to hospitality, and apt to teach. These are all characteristics of what a bishop should be offered. All right. And really, to be honest, if you're a sincere brother in the truth, these are attributes and traits that you're already going to have. All right. They're just on the bishop side. These are just things that are requirements. Just like for a Nazarite, the Nazarites have certain, requirements to become a Nazarite. This is basically the same thing. Verse 3, it says, not given to wine, nor striker, not greedy and filthy lucre, be patient, not a brawler, not covetous. It says, one that rule well his own house, having his children in subjection with all gravity. Right. See, so it's basically given it's given the analogy of, listen, if you want to rule the house of, if you want to be a bishop in the house of the Lord, you must have your own house in order. All right. So it's basically given that comparison. All right. So because really, to be honest, Paul, when he wrote this, what I was gonna say, when he wrote this, he was basically given that analogy of like, damn, kind of lost my train of thought, Slakia. He was basically given the analogy of like, listen, if you're trying to rule in the house of the Lord, look at your own household and see, and that's basically how you'll do it. Like it says one ruler well over his own house is having his children subjected with all gravity, right, man? So it's basically having your household in order. That's how you will rule the household of the Lord. You won't have your house in disarray, but you trying to be on some type of level in the truth. All right. It says, verse 5, it says, if a man know not how to rule his own house, how shall he take care of the church of the Lord? Right. So it's saying, if you don't have control over your own house, if your house is all in disarray, your fucking, your house is all in disarray. It's always junky, messy. Your woman is out and about. Your children don't listen to you, and you trying to direct the house of the Lord, but yet your own household is out of order, So it's basically saying, hey, as a man controls his household, that's how you should control the house of the Lord, man. So you should get your household in order. Get your children in order. Get everybody, make a plan out. That's basically what a man's job is, to be in the household. Is to be a provider and a leader. To the household. The wife is supposed to support and teach the children and comfort her man. And be there for him when he needs her to be. And the man is supposed to be what? Be the provider, be the protector, and be the leader in the household. So where his sons is looking at him as for a leader and an idol and to learn from. It's like, damn, I want to be just like my father. He had his household in order. He had set rules. And then the woman is supposed to what? Be the support, be there for his backup, his second in command. To support him, to teach the children, to keep the children in line, and the daughter is supposed to be what? To look towards the mother on how to take care of a man eventually when she gets, wifed up or whatnot, So when she gets wifed up, she's like, oh, well, my mother did this, my mother did that for my dad, my mother did this for my dad, I'm gonna do that for my husband. All right, I'm gonna support my husband, I'm gonna be right behind him, So it's and that's how the ranking structure is, man. That's how the order is, man. All right, the man being the head, and then what? It trickles on down to the women and the children. All right, and that's how basically is given the analogy now, man. How you have order in the house, that's how you should have the order in the camp. All right. Verse 6, it says, not a novice, least being lifted up with pride, he fall into condemnation of the devil. Right, man. Being not a novice is what? Being newly in the truth, man. If you look up the word novice, it basically mean a one who was just converted or newly planted. All right. So it's basically being new in the truth. All right. And I think Apostle Gabar said, I believe he said 15 years. He said, you brothers that's 15 years under is still technically considered novices. All right. So he says you really don't, and I think it was a elder from Chicago. I don't know if it was Elder Uriah or Elder Malcolm. It was one of them. It was somebody. It's one of the elders of Chicago. He said, really, to be honest, you really don't know the totality and the depths of the truth unless you be in this thing for 10 years plus. All right. He said, brothers who just pushing 6, 5 years, 7 years, you really don't know the depths and the seriousness of the truth until you actually get into the truth, and until you actually been in the truth for 10 years plus, man. All right. So really, to be honest, right now, majority, I want to say probably 80% of us brothers are really all novices. All right. Me being myself 13 years, but still, being part of that novices, man. And it's talking about if you want to rule these houses, you have to have some type of experience. All right. You have to have some type of knowledge on how to do it. You can't just say, oh, yeah, I want to be a bishop. I want to be a deacon. I want to be a man of officer. But yeah, you don't know how to, you don't even know how to run a household, man. You don't know. You have no experience. You have nothing to give to the church, man. All right. You have no wisdom. All right. To give to the church if you're being a novice, man. All right. It says, moreover, he must have a good report of them which are without, lest he fall into reproach and snares of the devil. Right, man. So basically, you actually have to not only you're supposed to be an upstanding person, an upstanding brother in the truth, but you also have to be have a good report of them outside the truth. Because you got certain brothers, you have certain brothers and elders in the truth who's actually a decent individual outside the truth as well, man. You talk to some of their friends, you talk to some of their, if brothers have friends, but you talk to some of their coworkers, their job, their family members, and everybody has nothing but good to say about them. Oh, you talking about such and such? Man, he a solid dude, man. That's a solid brother. That's a solid guy, man. I can always depend on him. He's there when he say he needs to be there. He tries his best to keep his word. Nobody really has nothing bad to really say about him. He's always he's an upstanding guy. He's not just in the truth. He's the mighty this and that. And then when he gets in the world, he's a complete nigga. Scamming people, taking people's shit. Stealing from them or what have you not. He has a good report all around, man. He's an upstanding person. He's not a shady individual. Verse 8, it says, likewise, must the deacons be graved, all right? And that word graved basically means honorable, I forgot the word, if you look it up, basically being of a good report and a good deed, all right? Honorable is the best, word to describe that. It says not double-tongued, not going back on what he says, not playing, being double-tongued, but it's self-tongued. It says, not giving too much wine, not greedy of filthy lucre, holding the mystery of the faith in a pure conscience. It says, and least these also first be proved. It says, then let them use the office of deacon, being found blameless. Right, man? So now it's getting into deacon, basically being blameless. All right. It says, even so must their wives be graved, not slanderers, sober, faithful in all things. Let the deacons be the husband of one wife. It says, ruling their children and their own house well. It says, for they that have used the office of a deacon will purchase to themselves a good degree and great boldness in the faith which is in Mashiach Yahushai. It says, these things I write unto thee, hoping to come unto thee shortly. But if I tarry long, that thou mayest know how ought to behave thyself in the house of God, which is the church of the living God, the pillar and ground of the truth. Right, man? So it says what? if I tarry unto you long, that thou may know it. So this letter, this epistle, is basically saying, hey, listen, if I take my time, if I tarry, if there's any way that I'm taking a long time, this is how you should conduct yourself in the truth. This is how you should conduct yourself in the church of Yahweh Bashim Yahshua. So it was given a comparison about how men's running their household, how you run your household. That's basically how you should run the church. All right. So when I tarry, basically you know how to conduct yourselves. All right. Verse 16, it says, and without it's like it always gets this word messed up. Controversy, and without controversy, great is the mystery of godliness, like God. It says Yahweh was manifest in the flesh, justified. Yahweh Shah was manifest in the flesh, justified in the spirit, seen of angels, preached unto the Gentiles, believed in the world, received up unto glory. Right, man. So basically, is breaking down how men should conduct themselves, not being only good, upstanding citizens in the world, but also in the truth, man. Basically playing that balance, being temperate. Especially if you desire the office of a bishop and desire the office of a deacon, which are higher up offices in the truth, man. So like we say, man, stagnant water is never gonna grow. Stagnant water is dead water, man. If you're really flowing in the spirit, man, you should always grow day by day, man. Become a better person, become a better brother, a better individual who you were yesterday, man. All right. And that's exactly how we do, man. By us examining these scriptures, reading to the scriptures, flowing in the spirit, man, we should always become better than we were yesterday. All right. So Lord willing, I hope this video was inspiring for you brothers. I hope it was edifying first and foremost. And I hope it exhorted the brothers that it was meant to exhort, So without that, I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Rakah Kodash, and Devlon said, Elders, Apostle Great Millstone. And shalom to you brothers out there until next time.